Machete! Hi, this is Trey Passer, and welcome to my movie review of Machete Kills with minor spoilers. My movie review with minor spoilers. I saw it today. Here's my tickets. So, there you go. Machete Kills. There you go. Of course, this is the sequel. Excuse me, to the previous movie, Machete, which started out as a fake trailer in the Grindhouse movie. Okay, and Robert Rodriguez directed this. Of course, it stars Danny Trejo. This movie, Machete Kills, has an all-star cast in it. You got Danny Trejo, Mel Gibson, you got Amber Heard, Michelle Rodriguez, Sofia Vergara, you got Charlie Sheen, Lady Gaga, Antonio Banderas, Walter Goggins, Cuba Gooding Jr., Vanessa Hudgens, Alexa Vega, and what's her? Tom Savini and what's her name? Who was in the first movie? Drawing a blank on her name. She's in it as well. Jesus, why can't I draw a blank on her name? Jessica Alba. I'm sorry, Jesus. I'm sorry. I drew a blank on Jessica Alba's name. Anyway, the plot of this movie, for those who've seen the trailer, you know what the plot is. In this movie, the president calls on Machete. The president, as in Carlos Estevez. I think it's Hancock, or I think that's his name in the movie. Charlie Sheen's character, who's the president, he calls, basically summons Machete to come to the White House because he wants him to go to Mexico to stop this Mexican revolutionary who has a missile pointed at Washington. Okay, so he sends him there, and he actually gives him some incentive to do it. He's going to give him this is like I said, this is spoiled. He's going to give him full pardon. He's going to be an American, no swearing in, bull BS, and he's going to be, and plus he gets a chance to avenge somebody in the movie, which I won't tell you who that is. Okay, anyway, he goes down to Mexico and basically, like I said, the plot's kind of insignificant in these movies. The main thing that you got to know is Machete kills and kills a lot. Okay, and that's what makes the movie, fun, and the way he kills people is equally fun. Okay, and then you also have these all-star cast members, playing their various parts and stuff, and they're good for the most part. But this movie, why I think it's entertaining, it's not. I don't think it's as good as the first one. I thought the first one had the better, even though Mel Gibson, I think is good. Mel Gibson is a better actor than Steven Seagal, but I just thought for these type of movies that Steven Seagal was absolutely perfect in his over-the-topness and incredibly bad acting in the first movie. I thought he was great in this, and while Mel Gibson is good as the villain in this, I just think the movie is kind of. First of all, I think the movie's a little bit too long. I think the movie's like 1 hour and 47 minutes. And for these types of movies, I think these Grindhouse movies should be like 90 minutes, 95 minutes. They shouldn't get close to two hours, because then it kind of detracts from all the jokes and stuff, I think, in my opinion. Okay, and I think this movie is not as fun as the first one, and maybe because the first one was the first one, it had the opportunity, and like everything we see in this one, we did see before in the other movie, of course, with a few twists and stuff. But for the most part, like I said, I like Danny Trejo, and I think he's perfect as Machete. The man who doesn't say much, but when he does say stuff, it's important, and he loves his machete, of course, as usual. Of course, and I thought Charlie Sheen as the president was fantastic. He cracked me up. Okay, and Amber Heard kind of plays like a contact. I guess the handler of Machete when he goes to look for the Mexican drug lord, and who's a beauty pageant, and she's in it a fair amount in that. And I thought Amber Heard was really good in it. Like I said, I think most of the actors are in this they played their parts, and they played them well with these types of movies. Like I said, you don't go into these movies looking for Academy Award-winning acting and great plot. Okay, it's a simple plot. Here's the machete. Go after the bad guy. Save the world. Kick ass. Meet a few hot babes. Okay, and basically that's it. But like I said, I think this movie is just not as good as the first one. I think the first one just a little bit more funnier, and I just thought Steven Seagal was a better villain in his over-the-topness and his incredibly bad acting. I thought that was just a better movie. Like I said, and everything worked. And maybe it's because it was the first. That's why I don't think this one that Machete Kills was as funny as the first one. And even though, like I said, most of the actors in this movie, for the most part, were really good in their parts. Okay, and hopefully, if they make a sequel, which they might, depending on how good this movie does, hopefully they can get back more to the fun part of like the first movie. I just thought this movie took itself a little bit too seriously in terms of plot, even though these plots in these movies are kind of insignificant. But in terms of this movie, I think the plot got a little too cultivated, and not cultivated, a little convoluted. That's the word I want to say. Convoluted, not cultivated. Convoluted. Okay, but Machete has some great kills in it, which I absolutely love. And would I recommend this movie? If you miss this movie and just see it in a few months, I don't think you'll be totally heartbroken. Okay, but if you're a fan, I think, of the first movie, there are some laughs in this movie, and I remember laughing at a couple of parts in this movie, that were just hilarious, and it's mostly revolved around Machete killing someone. Okay, but I don't think it's just not as funny as the first one. Okay, and so I would give the first one, if I was to rate him, I didn't rate the first one. I don't know if I was making YouTube videos when the first one came out, but anyway, the first Machete, which I absolutely loved, I would give that an 8, just because it was funny, and I loved the over the topness and that, and the hot babes, and I just thought it was great. This movie, I don't think is as funny. I think it's a little bit too long, and it's slow in some spots. But like I said, if you're a fan of the first one and you want to see this, like I said before, if you miss seeing this, and you see it in a few months, no, it wouldn't hurt. And you could wait if you really. This is not one of the movies that well, I went to see it because I was a big fan, of course, of the first one. But if you miss this one to see something else, like maybe Captain Phillips or something, it's no big loss, I don't think. This is not a movie that I don't think that you can miss and see it in a few months, and you'd be none worse for the wear. Exactly, because like I said, it was not as good as the first one, I think, in my opinion. So I would give this one a 6.5. Machete, the original, an 8. Okay, but this one, I think it's 6.5. I think it's just a notch below the first one, even though this has a lot of good actors, and all the actors, for the most part, they play their part well. Play their part well in this movie. And like I said, Machete has lots of good kills, so that's always a good thing. A lot of inventive, funny kills, which I thought was really good. Okay, so that's my review of Machete Kills. Feel free to leave comments down below, and hopefully, like I said, they'll make a third movie and get back to the spirit of the first movie. I think that would be great. Okay, so anyway, that's my review of Machete Kills with minor spoilers. Feel free to leave comments down below. And this is Trey Passer saying so long and take care.